Hello everyone, this is Lemon from Henan Glory Oil and Fats Engineering Limited Company. Today, let me introduce our palm oil press production line. First, we can see this is our palm oil pressing plant. The raw material is picked from the palm plantation and then transported to the plant. And generally, our palm oil pressing plant is best built in the palm plantation, so as to ensure that the picked palm fruits can be processed in the shortest possible time. Because the palm fruits have to be cured with 48 hours after picking, so as to ensure that the quality of the obtained oil in line with the requirements. After the fruit bunches are sent to the factory, the first step is the sterilizer to kill the fermentation to avoid the deterioration of the fruit caused by the constant rise of free fatty acids. Reduce the rate of the fruit radicity. And to make the bunches softer, easier to peel off the fruit particles and kernels. And the third rule of the sterilizer is that oil-containing cells condensed on the surface, more convenient for the extraction of the oil. We have this production line configuration of cooking. Type Q sterilizer tank need to use a boiler to provide the steam needed for the production. The general steam boiler has a gas boiler and ball-mix boiler. Ball-mix boiler in the palm pressing plant is more practical, because we can use empty fruit bunches, and the fibers can be used as a fibril to reduce the cost of the running of plants. You need to use a fruit cage and a traveling canny to transport the fresh bunches to the fermentation tank. Using the direct steam on the bunches of high temperature fermentation, the temperature can reach 145 degrees. After 60 to 90 minutes of the full sterilizer, you can enter the next section. This is the next section is treasure. The role of treasure is talk about the palm fruit from the top of fruit bunches off, and then for pressing. The diameter of this drum type fruit removal machine is more than 1.2 meters. The whole body is made of high-strength carbon steel. The length of 2.5 meters and above. There are rambers and flat steel interaction inside the drum, which ensures that the equipment is sturdy and durable at the same time, so that the fruit bunches have enough running passes to achieve more than 99% of the fruit removal rate. The algae attached to the bottom is also 3 meters. Catch the fallen fruit and transport it to the next section is digesting. This is our winch. Oh, we can see in the video, this is our vertical digesting tank. The rammer driven by the motor will initially machine the palm fruits. The broken palm is more convenient for the operation of the oil press. The masticator tank is also connected to the steam corner. The temperature can be up to 90 degrees, which ensures that the palm fruits are always at the right temperature, so that the palm oil that overflows during the maceration process will not be slowed, and the liquidity will be stronger. So that the oil overflows during the machine will be solidified, and the liquidment will be stronger. The oil collecting tank enters the washing process avoid too much oil into the oil press. This is our special design, allowing the working pressure of the oil press and prolonging the service life of the equipment. The collected oil enters into the temporary storage tank from another pipe first. At first time, the crushed fruits enter into our double screw oil press, which adopts double screws, rotating relative to each other to squeeze the palm fruits in opposite direction to get palm oil. The screws are made of 2CR13 alloy steel with one pipe. At this time, which increases the durability of the machine and prolongs the overall service life of the equipment. At the same time, the oil press also combines with hydraulic pump state situation to realize automatic adjustment the pressure inside the chamber, so as to ensure that we can get the most oil as possible while not destroying the palm kernel inside, because once the palm kernel is broken, the palm kernel oil will also spill out, and the mixture of the palm oil and palm kernel oil is called gutter oil, which is not edible. The mixed oil seen on the market is also the split pressing of oil seeds. After refining the oil according to a certain proportion of the mixture, not a mixture of the raw materials pressed together to get. Because of the great difference in the nature of each kind of oil material, the oil obtained by mixing and pressing cannot meet the edible requirements. The oil obtained after pressing will first enter the temporary storage tank. The temporary storage tanks appearing in the video are set up to ensure the temporary storage tank and oil to ensure that the next section of the oil can be supplied at an even speed, so as to ensure the continuity of automated production. Next, the palm oil will enter the filter section. The whole filter section is divided into 4 steps: the rotary vibrating skin, sand clarification tank, plate and frame filter, vacuum drying system. The gross oil is transported to the high-level rotary vibrating skin by screw pump. The rotary vibrating skin is mainly used to filter large fiber impurities made of stainless steel. The design of the double-layer skin must to achieve more than 95% of the impurity removal rate, while the design principle of the machine can realize the automatic removal of impurities, avoiding manual removal of impurities to reduce the artificial cost and realize automated production. After filters oil through the pipeline automatically fall into the sand clarification. The role of the sand clarification tank is remove the sand and another heavy impurities in the oil. Here, because of the high-level difference, saves the oil transfer pump and reduces the cost of the equipment. The clarification tank adopts the working pipeline of bottom inlet and overflow. Because the bottom of the tank is a conical, the heavier sediment will stagnate at the bottom with a vertex, and the clean light oil will be slow. The oil will be slow over the up of the machine. And you can see in the video that there are many steam skills. There are many pipelines. To avoid the oil to be slewed. To ensure the fluidity of palm oil during the filtration process, the unique design of the overall tank allows the various palm oil to settle without time during filter, truly realizing efficient automated production. Because there are some palm oil manufacturers on the market, filter section is the use of oil clarification for natural sediment and remove of impurities, doesn't realize the true meaning of the automated production line production. And this time the filtered oil has been very clean, but in order to improve the quality of our oil, we also need to use the plate and film filter for the filter of small impurities. The removal of the impurities can reach 99%, while removing part of the water. Finally, it enters our vacuum drying system, which removes the water from the oil. We inject a lot of direct steam in the process of fermentation and mashing, which leads to the high moisture content in our oil, which is not easy to store. So, by using the vacuum drying system, the water content of our oil can be less than 0 to 2%, and the storage time can up to half a year. Our vacuum drying tank also has a steam coil to provide a heating environment for the oil. When the oil temperature reaches about 85 degrees in the vacuum environment, the water will evaporate and reduce our steam usage. The back half is the water jet vacuum pump, which provides vacuum environment for the vacuum drying system. By converting the potential energy into energy, and the air inside the tank is pumped away to realize the effect of vacuum. Through the above section is very clean, good quality, and can be stored for a long time of the palm oil. The bag can be put into the outdoor storage tank for the storage. We provide oil storage tanks are heated because the palm oil itself is very easy to calculate, and also with the heating function can ensure the fidelity of the oil. The whole video appears in the equipment, including the operating platform we can provide to provide you with a complete automated palm oil production line. Provide a one-stop service. And then let me introduce our refining the first of all, we place a collector and water jet vacuum pump. The main equipment of the entire refining is our refining tank, decoloration tank, deodorization tank, and our heat conductive oil stove. This is our transfer heated oil. This part is the heating transfer oil system. Heating transfer oil furnace next to the high tank and the low tank. High tank and the low tank. and the role of the low tank is used to store heat transferring oil. The high tank is store the air. The heat transferring oil. So the high tank. And this is our gas liquid separator used to remove heat transfer oil, water, and air. The high tank is used to store the separated heat transfer oil, water, and air. To avoid heat transfer oil containing too much water and air affect the heating effect. The heat transfer oil is piped to each section of the entire refining plant, provides heat sources. The heat transferring oil is recycled in the ore workshop. The heat transferring oil temperature is heated to about 260 to 300 degrees. Through the heat transferring oil furnace to provide heat sources for the workshop. The use of the heat transferring oil furnace has advantages of high heating efficiency and low cost. The heat transferring oil is recycled in our whole workshop. Its temperature can reach at 260 to 300 degrees. Let's start our refining process. Our crude oil through in the pipeline. Our first section is degarming, and the aciding section. There are many molecules in the oil, which not only affect the stability of the oil, but also affect the technical effect of the oil refining and deep processing. The oil also contains a certain amount of the free fatty acids, which is very unfavorable to the preservation of oil and reduces the quality of the oil. So first we start to remove the mercury's impurities and free fatty acids. By popping the crude oil into the alkali refining pot, we need to preheat the temperature of the oil to about 60 degrees before refining. The alkali refining pot contains heating coils. We can see a coils in the tank, which are used to enter the heat transferring oil to heat the crude oil. Above the alkali refining pot, there is a mixing tank of lye and hot water. Hot water is used to remove the insoluble impurities in the oil. Stir in the crude oil while adding a certain amount of the water. Swell and gather, forming a substance like rubber balls as the water is discharged. They are separated from the oil. Sometimes these mercury impurities is not very stronger for the water auto separation. We will add phosphoric acid, making it easier to absorb the water and separate from the oil. Alkali is used to remove the free fatty acids and use alkali to neutralize acid and alkali to achieve the purpose of the deacidification. At this third stage, we will get byproduct substock. We have dry engines in each tank. Stir for about 30 minutes. Stop stirring and increase the oil temperature about 90 degrees, because 90 degrees is the most suitable temperature for separating the substock from the oil, and then salting 6 to 8 hours to set out the substock. The substock after the settlement will be discharged from the bottom of the alkali smelting part to the subfoot box through the pump into the outdoor substock room. There are two alkali refining ports. They can be used alternately. One port is used for degumming and deacidifying, and the other port can be used for the washing substock. Because it is difficult to completely separate the substock in the oil from the oil only by natural sedimentation. Generally, the temperature of the water is about 10 degrees higher than the oil. This is also to remove the substock in the oil to the maximum extent to ensure the quality of the oil. Sometimes the two cans are degumming and deaciding at the same time. While washing, the use pattern depends on personal habits. In the decolorization section, we need to heat the oil to 100 degrees before the decolorization to remove the water in the oil and prevent the oxidation of oil. In the decolorization section, we need a vacuum environment for the decolorization to prevent the acidification of the oil by the air. Firstly, a water jet vacuum pump will be used to provide a vacuum environment, and this will reduce the loss of the oil. In the decolorization section, we mainly use white clay for the separation and the decolorization. The amount of the white clay amounts for about 1% to 3% of the oil, and the temperature is about 105 degrees. After half an hour of reaction, the decolored oil will enter the leaf filter to remove the waste white clay in the oil. After the vibration motor can automatically discharge white clay on the filter plate and achieve the entire automatic filter and slick removal so that your production is more automated. The filter oil will enter the decolorization oil temporary storage box. After the decolorization, it can not only improve the color of the oil, remove the germ, but also effectively remove the trace materials to prepare for the next section. And all kinds of the vegetable oil has their own unique flair. After a side removal, decolorization of the oil will also have trace acids in the white clay, a residual solvent odor. Removal of this bad odor process in the called deodorization. The deodorization section is to remove odors by steam distillation under the condition of the high temperature and high vacuum, which is called the strapping mist. Our decolorization tank material must be all stainless steel, because the deodorization temperature can reach 220 to 260 degrees. High temperature carbon steel material is easy to produce a dangerous element harmful to the human body. Finally, with the oil passes through a back filter for a final filtration. The oil will be stored in the storage tank. And we on the white clay through the vibration motor. And the next video, let me introduce our palm oil fractionation. Before the fractionation, refined oil needs to be heated because the temperature of the normal temperature palm oil is 40 degrees, and in this state, all the components of the oil are not liquid and there are still some crystalline components, so we need to heat the refining oil to 60 degrees to turn the oil into a pure liquid. Generally, high temperature steam heating is used. Although the cost of or performance of the thermal oil is relatively high, there is also the risk of the oil leakage, so the safety of the steaming heating is high. After heating, it is put into the crystallization tank. The crystallization tank is normal pressure state, and the cooling core is included. The cooling medium is chilled water and cooling water. Because the cost of chilled water is higher than the cost of cooling water, so we generally recommend using cooling water pre-treatment first, which will be more energy efficient and safe. Customers' operating costs. First of all, cooling water is used to indirectly cool that 60 degree oil to about 30 to 40 degrees, and the water sources comes to the outdoor core water tour, followed by the use of chilled water for secondary cooling to cool the oil temperature to our equipment, and the chilled water comes from the refrigeration unit. The entire cooling system is a circulation system. Cold water into the crystallization tank. Hot water into the cooling tower in the refrigeration unit, minimizing energy consumption and turbine serving costs. Crystallization time depends on the equipment configuration, contact area, oil precipitation, and so on. After the crystallization is complete, the filtration fraction is equipped with a screw pump to derive the strain and olein mixture into the filter. The screw pump is specially used for oil with a high density or impurity in the oil. In general, when installing equipment, we will recommend that the filter equipment be installed on the second floor or platform. The filtered olein is driven into olein storage tank by the oil pump. The strain directly falls into the slotted port recovery tank and the filter, so that no other conveying equipment is required, saving equipment costs and operating costs for our customers. Before the recovery of the strain, the air compressor generated by the area compressor will be blow away the soft fats. Otherwise, the expelled strain is same solid mixture containing olein. The strain after filter is a solid state, very hot and heavy, and falling directly into the recycling tank will damage the equipment. So we will configure flat steel sheets in the tank so the slot fat will be broken before falling to the bottom of the tank to maximize the service life of the equipment. There will be a heating core at the bottom of the recovery tank, which will heat the concreted solid feed in the liquid and drive it into the strain storage tank. So we have two parts. This is all the process of our fractionation. If you are interested in our palm oil press line, and I will introduce it again. The first thing we see is a palm oil pressing plant. The raw material is picked from the palm plantation and then transported to the plant. Generally, our palm oil pressing is best built in the palm plantation, so as to ensure that the picked palm fruits can be processed in the shortest time. Because the palm fruits has to be cured within 48 hours after picking, so as to ensure that the quality of the obtained oil is in line with the requirements, and the bunches are transported to the factory. The first step is sterilizer. To kill the fermentation is to avoid the deterioration of the fruit caused by the constant rise of free fatty acids. Including the role of the sterilizer is mainly reduce the free fatty acids, reduce the rate of our fruit rancidity, to make the bunches softer, easier to peel off the fruit particles and kernels, and so that the oil containing cells condensed on the surface are more convenient for the extraction oil. And we have this production line configuration of cooking type sterilizer tank need to use our boiler. Our boiler is divided into gas boiler and Bomis boiler. A Bomis boiler in the palm pressing plant is more practical. The after fruit bunches and fibers can be used as a fuel to reduce the cost of the running of the plant. You need to use the fruit catch and traveling canning to transport the fresh fruit bunches to the sterilizer tank. Using direct steam on the bunches of high temperature sterilizer, the temperature can reach 145 degrees. After 60 to 90 minutes of the full fermentation, you can enter the next section. Our next section is the treasure. The role of the defruiting machine is to talk about the palm fruit from the top of the fruit bunches off, and then for pressing. The diameters of this drum-type fruit removal machine is more than 1.2 meters. The whole body is made of high-strength carbon steel. The length of the machine is 2.5 meters and above. There are rammers in the flat steel interaction inside the drum, which ensures that the equipment is sturdy and durable at the time, so that the fruit bunches have enough running paths to achieve more than 99% of the fruit removal rate. Then we enter the next section is the digest. In the video this is a vertical masticating tank. The rammer driven by the motor will intentionally mashing the palm fruits. The broken palm is more convenient for the operation of the oil press. The mashing tongue is also connected to the coil to avoid the oil stubborn, to keep the slow. The temperature can be up to 90 degrees, which ensures always the right temperature, so that the palm fruit that overflows during the digesting tank. And this is our college oil tank. Is our special design. This is our engineering specially designed it to avoid too much oil into the oil press, lowering the working pressure of the oil press in the prolonged time the service life of the equipment. The collected oil enters At this time, the crushed force enters our double screw oil press, which adopts double screws rerouting relative to each other to squeeze the palm-fruits in opposite direction to get palm oil. The screws are made of 2Cr13 alloy steel with one-piece casting process, which increases the durability of the machine or prolongs the overall service life of the equipment. At the same time, the oil press also combines with hydraulic pump-station to realize the automatic adjustment of the pressure inside the chamber, as to ensure that we can get the most oil as possible while not destroying the palm kernel inside. Because once the palm kernel is broken, the palm kernel oil will also spill out. The mixture of the palm oil and the palm kernel oil is called gutter oil, which is not edible. The mixed oil seen on the market is also the separate pressing of the oil seeds. After refining the oil according to a certain proportion of the mixture, not a mixture of raw materials pressed together to get. Because the great difference in the nature of each kind of oil material, the oil obtained by mixing and pressing cannot meet the edible requirements. The oil obtained after pressing will first enter the temporary storage tank. The temporary storage tank appearing in the video are set up to ensure that the next section, the oil can be supplied at an even speed so as to ensure the continuity of automated production. Next, the palm oil will enter the filter section. The whole filter section is divided into 4 steps: the rotary vibrating skin, a sand clarification tank, plate and frame filter, and vacuum drying system. This is our rotary vibrating skin. The gross oil is transported to the high-level rotary vibrating skin by screw pump. The rotary vibrating skin is mainly used to filter a large fiber impurities made of stainless steel. The design of double-layer skin to achieve more than 95% of the impurity removal, and wherein the design of pressing point of the machine can realize the automatic removal of impurities, avoiding manual removal of impurities to reduce the artificial cost and realize automated production. After a few years, the oil through the pipeline automatically falling into sand certification. The clarification tank adapts to the working pipeline of the bottom inlet and overflow. Because the bottom of the tank is a conic, Because of the high-level differences saves the oil transfer palm and reduces the cost of the equipment, and will be overflowed into the clean oil hopper in the tank to be output to the next section. You can also see in the video there are many steam coils in our unclarified tank, which are used to keep the oil warm and ensure the fluidity of the palm oil during the future process. The unique design of the overall tank allows the aqueous palm oil to settle without time during the filtration, truly realizing efficient automated production. Because there are some palm oil manufacturers on the market, filter section is use of clarification tank for the natural sedimentation and the removal of impurities, doesn't realize the true meaning of the automated production line production. At this time, the filter oil has been very clean, but in order to improve the quality of the oil, we also need to use a plate filter. The removal of the impurities can reach 99%, which removing part of the water. Finally, it enters our vacuum drying system, which removes water from the oil. We inject a lot of direct steam in the process of the plate filter and marching, which leads to the high moisture content in our oil, which is not easy to store. So by using the vacuum drying system, the oil content of the oil can less than 0 to 2% and the storage of time can be up to half a year. Our vacuum drying tank also has a steam core to provide a heating environment for the oil. When the oil temperature reaches about 85 temperature under vacuum environment, the water will evaporate and reduce our steam usage. The back half is the water jet vacuum pump, which provides a vacuum environment for the vacuum drying system. By the converting the potential energy into the kinetic energy, the air inside the tank is pumped away to realize the effect of vacuuming. Through the above section, our oil is very clean and good quality, can be stored for a long time of palm oil. On the back can be put into the outdoor storage tank. For storage, we provide oil storage. Tanks are heated. Because the palm oil itself are very easy to coagulate, so with the heating function can ensure the validity of the oil. The whole video appears in the equipment, including the operating platform we can provide to provide you with a complete automated palm oil production line. Provide a one-stop service. This is all the process of palm oil press production line. and the capacity is 1 ton to 5 ton, and the 1 ton capacity production line with a water boil sterilizer. It just use the water, boil the water to consult the steam to sterilizer. It's no need cooker, boiler. It can reduce the cost. It is no need this boiler. This boiler is divided into Balmis boiler and gas boiler. Usually, we recommend use a Balmis boiler because it can reduce the cost. We can use a empty for the bunches. And the other equipment, the difference in the equipment is a little high. We can depend on your needs to design the equipment to recommend your needs, to meet your needs. And the palm oil can be cleaned through the refining and the fractionation. And we usually store the palm oil in a 40 degrees temperature. And we have an automatically production line. It is transport the sterilizer fruit is depend on the conveyor. It's not this is all canning in a hoist. And usually, if you want a simple line, we just need this machine. This is a plate filter machine. Because the impurity rate is 99%. Usually through the plate filter, the oil is clean. But in order to get the best quality of the oil, we usually use a 4-step. The rotary reverberation skin and sand clarification tongue in place in the frame filter and the vacuum drying system. And the simple line is just a dryer and a oil pressing machine and a filter machine. It can nearly meet your needs. Because the palm oil manufacturers on the market filtration section is the use of oil clarification tank for the natural sedimentation and removal of impurities, doesn't realize the true meaning of the automated production line production. But our machine can realize it and reach it. You can trust our company's equipment because our company has set up in 2013. We have done it for many years, and our product sold in over the world. And so, time is up.